Okay, Nick Houston here for Gotham Sound and Communications. Today we are talking with Ben from Shure and Frank from Peter E. Schmidt. Say hello.
Hello.
Howdy.
Where's Frank? Come on, Zoom, show us Frank.
Hi.
I see Frank.
There we go. Yeah, no, but he didn't show up on that. There we go. So what's up, guys?
You know, just hanging in there, doing all right.
Yeah.
Hope you guys are all doing well too.
Yeah, where are we seeing you from?
I'm broadcasting out of my office here in Western Connecticut.
And I'm in North Jersey. Western side of Jersey.
Yeah, Northwest.
Got it. All right, so all in the Northeast, and
Somewhere over there. I don't know. Somewhere.
So since we're on the subject, we've all got different setups for what we're doing for this Zoom meeting stuff. Why don't you tell me about yours, and I'll tell you about mine.
Well, yes, I think like a lot of us, we've been forced to work at home. So I've been spending a lot of time doing webinars, and we're doing tech talks and all types of Shure related activities. So I've been dialing in our broadcasting game or live streaming game, if you will, and that's one of the cool things about working for an audio company is no shortage of microphones and things to try out. So it's been a learning process for me. I've been learning a lot about video myself, and that's not one of my strong suits. So it's been a lot of fun. But yeah, right now I'm using a KSM8 dynamic microphone. I got the SE215 earbuds, which are very good. And I got the MVI interface, and that's what I'm talking to you guys on right now. So it's like a XLR right into the computer or your iPhone or iPad, and I have a lot of different interfaces around here, but it's just the simplicity of it. It's nice. It doesn't take up much desk space, and it works well.
And what about you, Frank?
I am super, super technical. You guys got like about an hour and a half. I'll go through this whole setup.
Can't wait.
It's a MacBook Pro with a pair of Bluetooth headphones.
All right.
There you go. Beautiful.
I do sometimes use the Babyface Pro, which is a fantastic little interface that, to our point before, Nick, it has enough gain to run that SM7, which I dig. So the only other one I'd use is probably the one you're using, which is, the Cat Daddy. But yeah, I'll use that and a various amount of microphones, whatever I've stolen from Ben's mic locker, really.
Yeah, I have to get those back sometime,
Yeah, there you go.
Well, if you're curious, yes, I do have the Shure SM7B. I've got some Sony headphones, and this is all going through a Sound Devices MixPre 10 2, which is a little bit overkill, but hey, why not?
Never.
I love it.
Always good.
Go home.
That's right.
So, we're kind of treating this right now as the time that we would be normally in NAB. So we're treating this a little bit as if we were, wandering the floors of Las Vegas. So I'm wandering by your booth. What would we see?
We were definitely going to do a lot of things to show, upcoming products and things that we're working on. Kind of threw a wrench on the works with everything right now, but a lot of it we've been talking about has been the location sound users with Axient Digital, and how that's become like a big thing, and kind of exceeded my expectations at least. Using the DC powered Axient Digital quad in film capacity or location sound capacity, and we were planning on showing that at NAB, and actual Gotham built cart, sound cart, and kind of a setup and how that all works, and demonstrating our remote control and all the cool features that it can do and that sort of thing. That was really going to be our main focus, and when this all blows over, we're definitely gonna keep focusing on that. We love it. I mean, we really love what the location sound community is doing with Axient Digital. It's I'm so impressed. It's something that I never thought would take off, and it did, and here we are. So.
Cool. And so we've got a bunch of videos out there for the Axient Digital line, which maybe we can post in our comments so that people can see specifics. But just give us a brief overview of what the power of that kind of system is.
Well, the Axient Digital is pretty remarkable. It's a great sounding digital system. It's very easy to use. It's probably the most advanced with the most feature set, including remote control if you wish, automatic changing of frequencies if you wish, a lot of redundant options so that it doesn't drop out. And as I was mentioning before, normally this is a full rack size receiver, 2 or 4 channel, but we do offer it in a DC powered redundant powering version, which was really kind of aimed at broadcasters or those that wanted redundant power supplies. But I don't know from your camp or who figured it out. They're like, well, I run a 12-volt sound cart, so why not plug this into the DC input that takes 12 volt and power it off my battery or my auxiliary power source. So it's been great. The users that we've been working with have really enjoyed the remote control. There's other really cool things like there's no more gain control to worry about. You have a lot of visibility over everything. If you want to mute somebody or RF mute if they have to have a private conversation or something, you can do that. It just opens up so much more control over it, and great sound quality to boot. We've been hearing rave reviews about just the overall final product on the film or the episode that they're recording. It just sounds awesome. And that's a lot, owed to the digital technology and not having to mess around with the gains anymore or anything like that. It's cool.
And, sorry, Frank, go ahead.
Oh, I was just going to, some of the things that I thought were amazing about the location guys when I talked to them, and Ben's probably got a micro sitting there he can kind of show you on screen. The size of that thing they loved, the robust RF that they were getting, and they're allowing the system to make changes to those packs. I think we gloss over sometimes the fact that we do a one-to-one connection from our transmitter to our receiver, or our network, I should say, to our transmitter. So that way we can pick just which pack you want to actually control. We're not doing any kind of sound tones or anything that might interfere with multiple packs. So there's a lot of confidence in that. And then there's also, I think, a lot of confidence in the fact that the system can take and essentially have some backup frequencies in the event that there's some traffic. And they're letting the system do its thing in real time while they're actually doing shoots. And it's just impressive to hear the reports back from the camps about how much they dig that and how it kind of takes that whole stress factor out of their life, and they can really worry about getting the right audio in the shot and not having to worry about, oh, am I going to have a drop in audio? It's really cool.
And tell me a little bit about, we're talking about the new normal on film sets, whatever that might look like. How do you see that this will help with that new normal where everybody's kind of trying to keep their distance? Yeah.
That's a great point. So, a part about the remote control, you can turn the pack on or off or do anything you need to do without actually, having to touch the talent or take the pack off of them, which is really great. As far as setup and everything, because of the remote control, it gives you so much more flexibility. Also, not having to dial in the gains anymore because it is automatic on the transmitter side is a huge advantage, where you can just basically, if you're the A2 or the person in charge putting this on the talent, you can even give it to the talent themselves or a handler or whatnot, and they can just put it right on them and you're good. And if you needed to change anything, which is likely probably not, it just does it for you, and you have complete visibility control from your sound cart or your own home base location. Pretty cool.
Cool. So you can just stay away and maybe change the battery once a day.
Exactly. Yeah, and you get like a really granular readout of hours and minutes. It's accurate to like 10 or 15 minutes of how much battery's there. Get a little warning pop up when there's however much time left that you want to be warned at, an hour, half hour. And then, of course, all the ADX packs, like the little micro here and the other ones, they all come with the 2 rechargeable batteries. So you get 1 battery in the pack and 1 in the charger. So you're never without it, and you don't have to buy batteries anymore. It's wonderful.
And I noticed there's no antenna on there also.
Sharp eye. That's right. So the micro body pack, if you can see here, it does have a recess, but that recess is for the lavalier or the headset connection. So when you attach a lavalier to it, like this Twinpecs here, it kind of melds into the pack, and then it doesn't poke the talent in the side. I know talking to a couple location sound people, and they were really impressed with the fact that there's no antenna on it. They're like, why didn't you guys come up with this before? We can hide it in places that you couldn't before. You can put it in a wig. You don't have to worry about where it is or where the antenna location is. To kind of geek out a little bit, there's actually 4 antennas inside of this little pack. You got the main transmit antenna, which is inside. You have 2 antennas for Showlink, or the remote control protocol. And then the 4th antenna is really unique. It's a receive antenna that detects how well the body pack is transmitting. Because we all know it works well out in the free air, but when you put a body pack on the talent, it will absorb the RF and the signal will decrease. Well, it detects how that is working and will tune the pack, the antenna and the circuit inside for best performance. So a lot going on in here. But as far as a usability standpoint, you basically just put a battery in it, put a lav on it, and put it on the talent, or have the talent put it on themselves. It's wonderful.
Nice.
So we were essentially social distancing before it was the in thing.
Very cool. Anything new that you see coming out for this Axient Digital system, either soon or in the coming months, years, decades?
We're always working on new and exciting things at Shure. So stay tuned.
I wanted to do it, man.
Well, yeah, new and exciting things. We hear you. We take one of the awesome parts about this company is we listen to the feedback, and we try to get the feedback from those on the ground that use it the most. And then if you have a suggestion or something you'd like to see, we try to listen to that and make it happen. So please stay tuned. We're definitely not done yet, and there's more to come. So we're pretty excited. Some of the other like esoteric things that are fairly new for the Axient Digital system would be the talk switches, which may have a use, especially in location sound applications. We have a collar talk switch. Like here, this ADX2, there's a push button, if you can see here. And the push button can be programmed to kick the audio out another output on the receiver side. So you can use this in many creative different ways, especially if you want to have like a private comms channel back to somewhere, or the producer or the director or whoever. That's one way to do it. There's also some other cool things you can do. We have a little fob, like looks like a car starter remote control that's wireless. And if you push that button, it can tell a body pack or multiple body packs to reroute the audio. And again, your mind can wander about where you can do with that in a film setting. I think especially if you're trying to have like your own private comms channel back and forth to the cart or somebody else you need to stay in contact with.
That is cool. Something, and I'm just going to try something here on our page, because it seems like our stream may have stopped. I'm not sure if that's the case, and I want to make sure that we're still going. We're still going. Okay, great.
Cool.
Just.
I thought you crashed the internet down with all that great knowledge.
That's it. But talk switches will bring it all down.
Talk switches.
Get a little excited. So, with the talk switch, another kind of like these like little products, but they can make a difference. We have this thing called the EAC IFB, and this little cable here is basically a single-sided earbud cable that sums into mono, and it's got like a little stress relief. If you can picture like if you're wearing a comms headset or like a security guard or a bouncer would have in. Well, basically this takes our MMCX connectors, and you can use our like 215s or 425s or 846s or any other compatible bud and put it on here, and then you have a really comfortable one-sided headset that you can use with your comm systems, with your IFB systems, as a talk back, as a listen, and wear it all day. And this is it's a nice little thing to have, and so kind of want to mention it because it's one of those little products, but it can make a big difference, especially if you're already looking at another comfortable single mono solution versus like the little sound tube kind of IFB ones.
And you can buy those SE215 drivers separate?
I believe they're available in a bundle, if I'm not mistaken, with the EAC IFB, and you can get, you can pop them off of a pair of 215s for left or right. The distinct advantage is the sound quality. Instead of trying to force the sound through like a little acoustic tube, the driver is right in your ear. So you can definitely notice a improvement in the sound quality versus other types of IFBs that, the little clip and it can rattle and all that stuff. That's all a thing of the past with this setup.
Cool. Getting back to Axient Digital for a second, there was a question. Can you just spell out really succinctly what parameters are controllable through the Showlink?
It's a great question. So if you're talking about the transmitter, you can control just about everything on the transmitter over Showlink. Let's talk about some of them. You can control the mic offset. You can RF mute, turn it on or off. You can change the frequency. You can put the locks on or off. Just about everything you can do on the pack on the main menu itself is available to be done by Showlink. Also, a nice ancillary benefit, which is often overlooked with Showlink, is that when I discussed earlier about it's like just set it and forget it or put a battery in it. Well, picture this. You get to your shoot, you set up your sound card, you do a frequency scan like you normally do on your receiver or through Workbench, and you change your receiver, of course, and get new freaks dialed in. Well, when the pack wakes up, it automatically remembers that it was associated with that channel of that receiver, and it's like, oh, you've changed frequencies, I should too. So once you make that establishment with the IR sync and you link that pack to a channel, wherever that channel goes, the pack will automatically follow. So what I'm getting at is that when you do your frequency coordination on the location, the packs don't have to be infrared synced every time. That's a one-shot deal now, and it just automatically follows wherever that receiver goes. Additionally, if you needed to change a frequency during the middle of a shoot for any reason, you would just change it right on the receiver, right on the front panel, or through Workbench. And as soon as you make that change, the pack gets changed as well.
And so what is the latency between, let's say, changing the frequency on the receiver and it being changed at the transmit pack?
It's nearly instantaneous. It's about less than a tenth of a second. So
there you go.
Right.
Yeah, and he's referring to a control module that's, minimal dollars in the grand scheme of things. You have a 610 there? So very easy. It's powered over Ethernet. It's very easy to add to your Axient system if you don't have it already. If you have anything with an X in it, as far as a transmitter, it's almost like a no-brainer to add that box, because
Absolutely.
Then you get all of the things that Ben's talking about with that one power over Ethernet cable.
That's right. You hook this right up to the back via Cat 5, it's Cat 6, whatever it takes, right to the back of the receiver. It'll power it up, and that's it. It's now part of the system. And now any changes that you make on your rack of your Axient Digital will be mirrored on the pack. And it works vice versa too. If you change the frequency here or something, it would change it on the receiver side. This, again, just is control. No audio passes through, but it gives you, one of these gives you up to 24 transmitters that you can control. If you need more than 24, that'd be a nice shoot. You can add as many of these as you like to increase your channel count. And they hand seamlessly off if you need to extend your coverage. Maybe you're covering a large set and you have something right in front of you, but maybe you want control and confidence when the actors or the talent go into the dressing rooms or way far off and that sort of thing. Again, if they wanted to use the restroom or have a private combo, you can just hit the mute button and it will actually RF mute the pack, not just the channel, but the pack itself. And when they come back, you can unmute it and without having to go run up and say, oh, sorry, I forgot to turn your pack on, etc. So it opens up a whole new realm of possibilities.
Fantastic. And so I should mention that, we do have these here at Gotham in our rental department and also available for demo. So if this is something that, people are interested in trying out, all the Showlink and all these crazy remote control features, in the downtime, give us a call and we'd be happy to set you up with a demo. And that is a no-cost demo, just to be clear.
Love that.
Yeah, not bad. Well, we're trying to keep people occupied for sure.
So we have another thing here. So if you already invested in Shure and you have a bunch of Shure capsules, this might be of importance. So you know the deal. You can unscrew the capsule off of the handheld and you got these little RPW capsules. Well, we have this new handheld called the VPH, or the Video Production Handheld. And it's basically making a wireless capsule wired. So this is an XLR and this is the Shure threaded system. And you can take any of your existing Shure compatible wireless capsules and make them wired. It's like an inside joke. We say we're making wireless wired again, but if you're trying to travel light or you're doing a locations shoot and you have your Shure wireless, but you want to have a wired backup as well, you can pack one of these in your kit and now you don't have to carry around a whole bunch of different microphones. Additionally, it's a little bit longer than the normal handheld. So if you put a halo or a flag or a station identifier on the top, it keeps your hand out of the shot and it's tapered at the bottom, so it's really comfortable. It's like a no-brainer. If you have some Shure capsules in your kit, this would be something to check out. It's called the VPH, Video Production Handheld.
Very cool. So what other things are you guys bringing today?
Oh, geez. So go ahead, Frank. We got some stuff.
Yeah,
Frank.
Ben's going to do a dance for us.
Interpretive dance section.
No, I mean, one of the things that we've discussed, obviously, the big topic of discussion is, what are you doing as you're sheltering in place or whatever, having to still work. So we have a couple of different bundles, let's call them. And one of them in particular that we tend to gravitate on the more professional side is a bundle that includes our MVI, which is a little USB interface. Ben has one there. And that bundle also has a handheld, the PGA 58 in there, and then a pair of headphones. It's a great little bundle. It's $199 MAP. You can get it at Gotham. And you can take it from there anywhere you want to go. So if you don't want to wear headphones and look silly like this, you could use the IFB device that Ben mentioned earlier, and a pair of 215s, which, let's take a quick second and talk about 215s or the entire SE lineup. Really great in-ear buds that sound, we spend a lot of time on sound quality for those. Worth having if you just like to listen to music, either wired or over Bluetooth, and then talk about dual purpose or getting the most out of your money. You can take one of those off left or right ear and put it in the IFB and do some work, take it back out, go back to listening to some music, mow the lawn, whatever you got to do. Great earbuds all around, right? So if you're going to be on air and you don't want to have this, you could have that. You could also get into, instead of the handheld, we could use one of our Twinpecs, let's say, lavaliers, plug that into a little amp, get it into the MVI. So we're giving you options. There's a lot of options that you could use if you have to do what you're doing, but do it at a remote location. So that's another, I think, one worth.
What would the amp look like for the Twinpecs? Is that just a mic to line amplifier, or is that
it's
just
like a little inline that we have, right? So it's going to give you that output that you need from the lav to get into the MVI.
Right, there's a RPM 400, it's called, and it basically is an XLR to either LEMO or XLR to TQG, depending on which connectors you have. And the scientific of what it is, it's basically taking that 48 volts coming out of the XLR or your mixer, and then converting that to about the 5-volt plug-in power that the lavalier needs to light it up. It also has a little belt clip too, so you can clip it on your belt or your clothing, so it doesn't yank on the lavalier. It's a nice other way. I mean, especially if you're sitting at home and you have a whole bunch of wireless lavaliers in your kit, you grab one of these and you can make them wired, and now you got a nice streaming solution that sounds great.
And the MVI, as you mentioned, just to specify, it outputs 48 volt phantom.
It does, yeah. It's
there's a lot of cool stuff, and by no means is it a sound devices box, right? But here we are at 100 and what is this?
129 map, I think.
129
right?
map.
Yeah.
So I mean, it's a great way to not have to go mortgage the home to get something for working at home, right? And still gives you some great quality and that simple connection that you might need.
Yeah, I like the fact you can use it with iOS devices as well as your computer, so it can be kind of multi-purpose, small enough to put in your bag, that kind of thing.
Android too.
Bus powered.
I'd have to check on that. It might show up as an audio device. I'm not 100% though.
Okay.
I don't know.
Cool. And so that's the MVI and that bundle. And so we, as I mentioned, we've been selling a lot of the MV88s as well. So if you want to talk about that and why that might be interesting, that would be great.
Yeah, the MV88 and the MV88 Plus, which is the new version, is quite cool, especially for content creation, something that you can take with you. Frank has one there, I think, and it's it comes with a tripod. It's a stereo microphone. The real magic, though, is the app on the phone or the iPhone, which will allow you to control the pattern and the beam and the gain. There's even a new app called MOTIV Video, so that you can use that microphone to capture some really high quality video. It comes with a really nice handheld stand and clip for your phone, so that you can use it. There's a mini tripod. I think it's a Manfrotto. Comes right in the package.
It's a Manfrotto tripod. It's some good quality stuff. Allows you a lot of different options for how you mount that to the stand based on what you're doing. If you're doing interview style, if you're doing just a podcast, or however you want to use it. If you're doing some roaming you can actually use it that way too. It's very flexible. To Ben's point, the Plus specifically has all that in the pack. The MV88, cool little box. It's super small, which is what's nice, goes right on the end of your iDevice, and essentially allows you some higher quality audio with really taking up no space in your bag or in your pack or whatever.
Yeah.
And how does it work changing the patterns on the MV88 Plus? I mean, obviously it's done through the control device, but what is the technical thing that allows the mic to do that?
Well, I mean, there's multiple capsules inside. So the difference is as you mix them together, it can get you anything from like a figure 8 bidirectional to a wide cardioid to a narrow cardioid, et cetera. And then there's other things of filtering and presets that allow you to just tailor it for the application, whether, it's music or speech or et cetera. There's it kind of just gives you a lot more control over it versus just, oh, here's a mic, plug it in. You can really, tailor it. My favorite is like if you're sitting in between two people and you want to do that figure 8 thing, you can catch both sides of the conversation and also block out all the other extraneous noise.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and EQ's in there as well. And the best part about all that is you make all your settings in the app, it stores it on the mic.
Yeah.
And so it's nice. You don't have to be in the app. You can go to your YouTube streamer or whatever you're using to do your show or whatever. And the information that you've set and what you've liked is stored on the mic.
And forgive me if I'm wrong, but can you also take an output of that and go into a mixer? There's a monitoring output on that as well, isn't there?
Right. So I'm glad you brought that up. The MV88 Plus does have the monitoring jack because, of course, the new iPhones don't have a typical headphone jack. Well, this gives you that 3.5 millimeter, which can go to your headphones so you can monitor. I'm sure if you want, you can go out to another source besides headphones as well, to capture that audio.
Cool. Okay. And then so what else? Anything else you want to say about the MV88 or the MV88 Plus? Or should we move on to something else?
I think I think about covers it. Yeah, they've been very popular.
Cool. All right. Great. So what do you got? What's next?
That basically covered, we have a whole bunch of different microphones and things, and you're using an SM7B, which is extremely popular for podcasting and so forth. These are kind of the attainable items that I find myself using just to, continue working and doing the webinars that we've been doing every week as part of a series of continuing education, which has been really, really fun. And it's been great. A lot of content, a lot of things happening. We do a tech talk every Tuesday, and then in Fridays in May, we're going to be doing like a kind of a workflow series. So we'll cover a workflow perspective from a certain application, whether it's batteries or Showlink or wireless, etc., Workbench, and it's been keeping us busy. I feel like we've been more busy now than ever. Even I usually travel a lot, so it's a little different for me, but it's really great to be, in connection with a lot of other people sitting at home as well, trying to increase their knowledge and keep their game strong, so that when this goes away, we'll all be ready to go hit the ground running.
Yeah.
And taking a second on the Shure side to promote the Shure Audio Institute too. If anyone has time, they can stop by the Shure website and look up the Shure Audio Institute. Hours and hours of training videos on all different topics. You could go blind watching all those videos.
Yeah.
It's a really great content too. So if you want to learn anything that isn't covered in one of the many webinars that happen, that's a great resource to go to.
Yeah, a lot of them are recorded, shure.com/webinars, and you can see our upcoming schedule.
Any questions?
Let's see. Well, the web lags a little bit behind where we are at the moment, so we'll put it out there and see if there are any questions about that. I will ask a question, though, because I see all those guitars behind Ben. So I assume you play.
I do.
Okay. So talk to me about your guitars, and then what's your preferred method of recording them? Microphone, interface. What are you doing?
That's a great question. So, when I can and I can crank it up, I do. I love the 57 in combination with another condenser typically, or even just the 57 by itself. A lot of times though, the kids are sleeping and stuff, so I can't play out loud. So I'll play direct in, and I've been using like a Abbott 11 rack direct into a mixer, or I actually been experimenting with a video capture device as a Roland VR3 EX that I stole from Peter E. Schmidt. But no, that thing's been great. I've been, it's a way to mix the audio in with the video, and then I've been pulled out some older 1080p cameras and been doing multi-camera shots just to have a little fun with it and keep myself entertained late at night and not, annoy anybody else. And it's been fun just to kind of jam out. But yeah, I love experimenting. I love building guitar pedals and that kind of stuff. I'm kind of a big gear geek, especially when it comes to guitars.
And where can we see your work? Sorry.
Quite the player too.
See, I don't know. It might be on some Facebook. If you might, I think I made them on public on there. There's a couple streams I did recently and so forth. Yeah. Yeah, that's a good place. I've only just started. I mean, with all this isolation stuff, I think I've only done a couple of streams. I've never streamed anything before, and it's been a learning experience, for me, because like I was saying, video is not really my strong suit, and anamorphic pixels and 16:9 and 4:3 and HDMI, SDI, and composite. I'm like picture in picture. I've been going deep down the rabbit hole. I'm sure you guys could drop some knowledge on me for that.
We'll try not to. And Frank, what about you? What are you doing to keep yourself occupied?
I've retouched with my video game side. I stopped playing because it was a time suck, and that kind of works in your favor right now. And then I also,
but what are you playing? Let's get specific here. Console, game.
Yeah, console. I got. A long time ago, I stopped with the PC only because I felt every time I bought a video game, I had to buy a video card to go with it. So I moved to the console. PS4 is the console, and then I'll also hit those every once in a while.
All right,
depending on what's going on.
Okay, that's set up, man.
So nice. Yeah, there's also that.
And are you recording that when you play, or what?
Oh, yeah, sure. I mean, I'll record it. Been kind of they're obviously electronic, right? Because again, the noise and not to disturb and make everybody crazy at night. But that kind of gives you that option to be able to get into some of the third-party samples. Like Stephen Slate makes some amazing stuff, right? So trigger some Stephen Slate drums, and you can pretty much get the biggest and the ugliest drum sounds on earth just by pulling up a preset. It's kind of crazy scary. So yeah, just been doing that. Whatever passes the time. And
So when are the Ben Frank band going to be a thing?
Yeah,
I was gonna say we have to have a collaboration soon. Send some tracks over the interwebs, and that sounds like fun.
It's funny, Ben and I have worked together for years, and we've always kind of missed each other on the stage at any one of the events that our company was at. So, yeah,
that's right.
It's got to happen.
If you could find a couple of people named Lynn, you could be the Ben Franklins.
Nice.
See what you did there.
Terrible.
I love it. I love
it. We do have a question. One of our mixer friends, Dave, wants to know if Axient technology will ever be made into bag-friendly receivers.
Ooh, that'd be a great idea.
I like it. I think that idea has some merit. Yeah.
I think you said it earlier, right, Nick? You said it was an Axient family. I thought that's what you said, right?
Yeah.
It is a family of products, so I would tend to think that would be a great addition.
It would be. Yeah.
So the answer is no answer. Great idea.
Great idea.
No comment.
Always working on
always working on
things.
We're always working on new and exciting things. That's the tagline. But thanks for the input. I think it's something a lot of people would love to see. It'd be great if we had one.
I think we'd love to see it too.
Yeah, definitely.
Cool. Well, listen, guys, I think we're getting ready to wrap it up. Is there anything else that you want to say about I don't know, the future of audio from Shure's perspective, what you see as being important going forward? I don't know, card games you like to play, just anything at all?
I like to play Pitch. I think that's a good card game. So I don't know. I think it'll be a learning experience where I'll kind of sitting at home and kind of honing our skills a little bit, dipping into things we may not have explored before. But when this all gets going and we're back at it, I think there's just going to be a lot of celebrations, a lot of things happening, a lot of live music, movies, film. It's just going to be better than ever. So stay strong, and I'm looking forward to that day where we all can meet in person again, and hopefully that comes soon.
Right with you. Yeah. Stay safe.
Yeah. Ditto. All right. Well, Ben,
It'll go
Frank.
the other way.
Yeah, exactly. Well, Ben, Frank, thank you both so much for taking the time and calling us from your homes. And it's nice to see your faces virtually, even though it's not in person.
Thanks, Nick. I appreciate it.
Yeah. Same to you, buddy.
All right. So thank you so much for watching. You can watch this video and more on our archives at gothamsound.tv. You can follow us on Facebook and Twitter for all the latest news and updates. And if you have ideas for videos or questions, you can email us at info@gothamsound.com. Thanks for watching.